ORAS, new Poke Crew, it's your turn, Crow right here, you're watching your turn channel. Now before we get started, please make sure you RCS, right, comment, subscribe, because I'm bringing you another Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle. I'm bringing you a battle against Mr. Flamerful. His link will be in my description. Now this team I'm going to introduce because this is a new team that I wanted to try out, and it turns out that this battle was actually pretty good, so I wanted to, upload it, show you guys. So I'm bringing a Choice Scarf, Landorus, a Life Orb Weavile, Lefties, Gastrodon, a Rocky Helmet, Arcanine, because I want to get off some damage from my opponents if they decide to use, close combats, Brave Birds, all those physical attacks. I'm bringing a Citrus Azumarill and a Choice Specs Gengar. Now, you might be thinking, why do I have a Choice Specs on Gengar? The reason being is because I've used Life Orb on Gengar. I've never used a Mega Gengar. I don't want to use a Mega Gengar. So there is that. The reason why I wanted to bring Choice Specs is because I wanted to bring some power to its attacks. I just wanted that power to be behind Gengar so I can get the advantage off in the battle. Now he is bringing the Alakazam, the Ninetales, the Strapper, the Raichu, the Greninja, and the Mightyena. Now the reason why he's bringing the Greninja, some of you people might be thinking, why are you battling him if he has a Greninja? Greninja is banned. Okay, I know. So I did remind him when we were battling. We were talking via Twitter and everything. I told him that Greninja was banned, but he wasn't really keeping track as of late, which is fine. Stuff happens in life where you don't really find things out in time. So I told him that it was fine if he brought it. Just because, I wasn't going to back out of the battle and have him make, like, a whole new team or whatever, I just wanted to get this battle on the road. I wanted to test it. I was excited. So he goes out into his Mightyena. When I'm deciding to go out into my Choice Scarf Landorus, because I want to, just get an Intimidate off on anyone who he decides to bring in. Luckily, it was the Mightyena, the physical attacker. But I wanted to, get a U-turn off. I wanted to get some damage off anyways. So he goes into his Valor, his Straptor. Now, this bird was one of his threats that I could see. So I wanted to try and get some chip damage off. So I U-turn away because I know that, if I go into my Bulk on my Arcanine and get another Intimidate off, this time on the Straptor, then this Brave Bird won't do too much. And I also wanted to get some damage off with my Rocky Helmet. So that was my thought process, of going to through that. So he does use the Brave Bird, and luckily for me, it does not take me out. Really, it does about half, a little less. No, it was about half. And so I'm able to get some Rocky Helmet damage and also burn this bird. Now this Staraptor is basically useless at this point because he can't really take me out with any Brave Birds. Granted, a Brave Bird from a Straptor is still going to do some major heavy damage, but I'm going to switch out. I probably could have just stayed in, but I'm going to switch out anyways because I'm going to get another Intimidate off on the Landorus. Now this Straptor can't do anything to any of my Pokemon, so he decides to U-turn out on my Landorus. I guess I could have just stayed in with my Arcanine to get some more Rocky Helmet damage, but I did not think of that. I didn't know what he was going to do, so I switched out anyways. But as you can see, the U-turn isn't going to do anything. So he goes into his Greninja, and I am going to just U-turn out because I don't want to take any Hydro Pumps or any Ice Beams or anything of that sort. And look at that damage. Look at that damage. I was hoping it was at least going to take it out, but it didn't, obviously, as you can see. So that was kind of unfortunate, but I did get a massive amount of damage off on the Greninja, which is fantastic. So I go into my Azumarill because I know my Azumarill can take an Ice Beam. I probably could have set up, wow, what am I thinking of? A Belly Drum, that is the word I was looking for. I probably could have set that up and just Aqua Jetted, but I wanted to show off all my other Pokemon. So I switched out because I was just kind of afraid the Greninja was going to use a Gunk Shot. I didn't know what that Greninja knew, but he decided to switch out anyways and go into the Raichu, and I was kind of worried he was going to use a T-Bolt or something. So I switched out into my my Gastrodon, predicting a T-Bolt, but he did not use a T-Bolt at all. He instead uses the Grass Knot, doing a massive amount of damage to my Gastrodon, but I am able to poison the Raichu, which is always good, and I don't want to stay in because obviously he's not going to use a T-Bolt. As I am immune to it. He was in fact going to be using a Grass now. So I go into my Landorus because my Landorus can take grass moves. I am part flying, so I do resist grass. So as you can see, this grass knot isn't going to do anything, and he is going to be getting some poison damage, and I'm thinking, you know, obviously he's not going to really T-bolt or anything, so what should I do? Should I try and use a Stone Edge? He does withdraw, so I was thinking, you know, he might go into Valor, so I think, you know, I'm just going to try and use a Stone Edge, because I just want to take that bird out as fast as I can, but he does not go into Strapper. He instead goes into the Mighty End, and I miss a Stone Edge. I do miss the I missed the Stone Edge, which was unfortunate, so I go into my Vulcanine because I want to get some Intimidate off, lowering its attack. Now, what I was thinking here was I can just use a Flare Blitz or an Earthquake or something and do a lot of damage. He was going to try and get some damage off on my Landorus using a Sucker Punch, but luckily I switched out, so he cannot use that. He switches out, though. He switches out, and he goes into his Ninetales. Now, I'm thinking, what's gonna happen here? This Ninetales, what does it know? It most likely knows Solar Beam. It knows probably like a Flame, Fire Blast or Flamethrower or something like that, but I figured he was going to switch out anyway, so I wanted to use the Morning Sun to get some HP back. He does confuse me, which is really unfortunate. Now, my two options were either to stay in or to switch out. I took the risk and stayed in because I wanted to get some damage off on the Ninetales. While the draw is out, I wanted to get some heavy fire damage off on the Ninetales with the Flare Blitz. Granted, I am going to get the recoil damage, but luckily I was not getting hit with the Confuse Ray. Now, I can just switch out right here because I don't want to stay in and have me get hit with confusion, because that would be a bad time for me. So I go into my Landorus, getting the Intimidate off, but it doesn't really matter because this Ninetales one is going to probably just use a Solar Beam, which I resist, or a Fire Attack, which isn't going to do too much. It will probably do a lot because of the fire, but it does not use the Hex, which is a good amount of damage. But I do miss another Stone Edge, unfortunately, as you can see, and this thing does decide to burn me, which is unfortunate. But he does play a big role later on in the game. So I do land a Stone Edge, finally taking the Ninetales out. I did not really want to put up with that Ninetales anymore because it did know the Confuse Ray, and that would have been just a bad time for me if I allowed that Ninetales to stick around. So I just stay in, just kind of thinking who he is going to go into. Now, at this point in time, I'm going to switch out because I know from that range, the Mighty Anna could most likely take me out with a Sucker Punch. So, I am going to switch into my Vulcanine and my Arcanine to get some Intimidate off, and if this thing wants to attack me with anything, then it's going to get hit with the Rocky Helmet. So, while it is losing the poison, while it is losing the health because of the poison, it's not dying fast enough, so it is going to hit me with a Poison Fang. Luckily, it's not going to poison me. It is in fact instead going to get damage off with the Rocky Helmet. So I just barely take him out with the Flare Blitz, but he is going to go down here with the Toxic and everything with the poison, which is a great time because that Mighty Anna could have taken some of my Pokemon out later in the game with a Sucker Punch if it wanted to. So he goes out into his Alakazam. At this point in time, I'm thinking, you know, this Alakazam is a fast SOB. I don't know who I can switch into. I don't really know who can take you know, like a Signal Beam or anything like that. So it is going to lower my attack, and that's fine because I'm not going to really let my Arcanine, you know, stay in too much longer. I wanted to try to Will-O-Wisp it because I figured that I could take at least one Psychic. I was right, but I do unfortunately miss the Willow, and I just want to sack off anyone at this point. So he does use a Psychic, and he does take out my Gasaron right here. Now my Gasaron isn't really especially defensive all that much, so he is able to take me out. So I'm going into my Landorus because I'm thinking, I just want to U-turn. I just want to U-turn, get some chip damage off. So now, while I'm U-turning, I'm thinking, I now can go into my Weavile because I'm predicting him to use a Psychic, where my Weavile is part Dark, so I'm just going to be immune to the Psychic anyways. But the reason why I didn't switch into Weavile earlier is simply because I didn't really know. Granted, my Weavile is Life Orb. I didn't really know if he was going to take out Alakazam from that far, you know, from that range, if Alakazam was at full health. So I wanted to lower its health enough where I could safely switch into my Weavile and take him out with a Night Slash. So he goes in, he switches into his Greninja, and I'm just going to take him out here with the low kick. My Weavile, well, Weaviles in general are just super crazy fast. So I'm able to take out the Alakazam and the Greninja with my Weavile. I wanted to save my Weavile for later in the game, right about this time, because I knew that my Weavile could be kind of like a late game sweeper. So I switched out because I don't really know what this Raichu is planning for me. So I go into my Landorus predicting a T-Bolt. It is going to lower its attack. It's not going to really harm it too much, but I am going to get hurt with the burn here, unfortunately. Now, I was predicting right because this Raichu was going to use a T-Bolt. It was probably going to do a decent amount of damage to my Weavile if I decide to stay in. But I don't. I switch out because I don't want to take any unnecessary damage to my Weavile, you know? So I hit another Stone Edge, predicting the Straptor again, but, you know, it's not going to switch in. This Raichu does decide to use the Strength on my Landorus, take me out. Now, I had spoken with him, and this Raichu was from his game, but it's fine that he brought it, because this Raichu did know some other good moves to take out some of my Pokemon, so it's not like this Raichu was not worthy to be a part of this battle. It definitely was. It just shocked me to use the Strength on the Landorus. Hell, it took the Landorus out, so I applaud the Raichu right there. But I'm taking the Raichu out with my Dazzling Gleam, my Choice Specs Dazzling Gleam. Which is a pretty good, you know, item to have on Gengar every now and then. So I go into my Arcanine right here because I want to get the Rocky Helmet damage, and I want to get the Rocky Helmet damage, and I also want the Straptor to get some recoil from the Brave Bird as well. But as you can see right here, I'm just barely gonna make the Straptor live, because this bird is just going to take out my Arcanine, and I can safely now just go into my Azumarill and use the Aqua Jet, because this bird is just going to be living with about like 1 HP after the burn. So as you can see, he's just holding on with a string. So I'm going to go into my Azumarill and just take out the Straptor right here with a priority Aqua Jet. Now this was a fun game, but this was a fun first battle for my for this team. The reason why I posted this, okay. I should probably explain something. Okay, so I told Mr. Flamerful that this was a test battle, but like I told him, you know, this battle was going to be a damn good battle, then I wanted to post it, and he was fine with it, which is amazing because this battle was a good battle. I did really like it. I was just kind of worried about the Straptor and the Alakazam. Those two are just two speedy Pokemon, so luckily I was able to take them out, you know, with the priority and with my Weavile. So this was a great game. If you guys want to kind of go check him out, he is a great YouTuber. He and I have talked in the past, so I would hope you guys would go check him out. He does bring great content. His YouTube link will be in my description under the Spotlight section. So if you guys want to see more Wi-Fi battles, if you guys want to see my new series, the live rank singles, then please by all means RCS rate, come subscribe. And I hope you guys all have a great day. Take care. Peace.